Hi, my beautiful Cancer Moon Children family, and welcome to July 2021. One of my favorite times of year, and this is definitely one of my favorite places to sit here with my Moon Children family. As you know, Cancer means a lot to me. It's one of my favorite energies to work with, and one of my favorite energies to be around. And so happy birthday, all those Cancers out there, whether it was in June or July. I'm so happy to be here with you. And, I'm excited about this Cancer season in general. I think it is, for the collective, a really, really beneficial time. It's a time of greater clarity of sight, greater clarity of intuition, and greater clarity of self-understanding. After a year and a half of pretty intense, hard growth, Cancer energy is so powerful in helping us find our inner trust and our inner guidance system again. And this is not a month of cloudiness. This is actually a month of great clarity. Yes, we have outer planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde. And Chiron, the asteroid Chiron, will be joining them this month. Those retrogrades are about integrating and understanding. They're not about getting foggier. They're actually about getting much, much clearer on our movement through the world. And in your case this month, obviously we have Cancer seasons. We've got a new moon in your sign. We have the sun moving through your sign. Mercury moves through your sign for a good chunk of the month. So we have a lot of this energy moving through the Cancerian behind the scenes energetic landscape, where, what's important when working with water energy, as so many of you know, is working from the inside out. Which is like the universal principle that we always come back to. And I love this though, because, when you already work with that innately, right, to work from a place of the depths out, and that's how you create magic in your life, and the energy is working with you in that way, it is just a nice feeling, right? And then, of course, we have energy moving into Leo and Virgo. The Sun and Mercury are going to move into Leo. Venus is also working through Leo a good chunk of the month. This is all the self-value, self-worth, kind of money energy, like the wealth factor, kind of, right? So you have a lot of supportive energy here. We also have a full moon in your 8th house, and Jupiter in its retrograde is moving back into your 8th house. So these are happening in Aquarius, a sign of transformation. So let's get into the message that came up for Cancer. And I really this message makes me happy before we get to the cards. This month, it's like you're opening a new era of your life. Like it's kind of been in process for a few months now, but I think you can kind of see, okay, yeah, I have changed, I have grown, and I'm now fully in this chapter, and I'm starting to notice maybe I'm solving different problems, or maybe different learning curves are showing up, and now I'm suddenly having to learn this new skill set, or solve this new problem, or make this new type of phone call that I've never had to make before. And sometimes that can feel a little discouraging, right? Because it's like, am I doing something wrong? Like, why does everything feel a little bit trickier all of a sudden? Like I knew how to live my life, and now I'm suddenly doing all this stuff. But you know what I've come to find over the years, when I have noticed that I'm really beginning some exciting new energetic chapters, and I'm like, it's like a big old book, let's just say, and it's got like 50 chapters in it, and you're in like chapter 2 or 3, right? And so you're into this book now, but you haven't gotten to the part where you're completely comfortable with the characters and the ideas and all of that. Anyway, when you're in there, but you don't know everything yet, I've noticed that often there will be this phase where the learning curve is there, where suddenly, because you're living in a new city, or because you're starting a new creative chapter and you're like learning a new skill, or because you're deepening your relationship and having those complex conversations, that you feel like you're doing worse, or you feel like you're like more overwhelmed. You're like, I thought this was supposed to be fun, to be on a new journey. And I don't want that to discourage you, because I've actually found that's normally a sign that we are on our right path, that we are following our inner guidance. It's that we are opening up doors and stepping into places that we belong. So if the world feels a little bit like, a little strange, a little bit like you're the new kid at school, just in general, not like even maybe some of you are starting new jobs or are in new environments, things like that, then you're going to have more of that literal experience of it. But I mean, you can also just feel kind of like you're a new kid in school in the world when you're growing and changing and embracing all this bigness and this goodness. Because the other message that came through for Cancer this month is that take your space, take up your role in this life, be unapologetic about it. You are meant to take this role on. Let's start shuffling the cards. I'm using the Animal Totem Tarot this month. I love this deck. I think it's gorgeous. And I like the slightly different Four of Wands, Bowerbird. Oh, I love that. Yes. Bowerbird is a really cool bird. The males make these really complex nests. Like they look like that, this like nest behind him, to entice the woman, the female bird, to mate with him. And it's just this beautiful, like, I'm gonna make this gorgeous home for us. Please pay attention to me. How cool. Love Four of Wands energy. So cool. Eight of Pentacles, Mountain Goat. Yes. Yeah, this, Eight of Pentacles makes me think about what I was just saying about like how when we're doing really well, like when we're actually really following our path and we're ending up facing like challenges and learning curves and new things that we're having to learn how to do, it's like, am I doing things right? Because I thought like life is supposed to get like inherently like easier. I was supposed to know how to do it by the time I got till 25 or 30 or whatever. And like now and for me, it's like, oh yeah, you're mastering all these new skills so that you can really enjoy this next chapter. That's, yeah. King of Wands, the Tasmanian Devil. Powerful guy, very unique being in the world. And the Sun, aww, lemur. Ring-tailed lemur, I believe that is. Okay, I love these cards. I love these cards. These cards are cards of joy, commitment, creativity, mastering of new skills. And the message I get with all four of these cards is that clarity message, which is coming up a ton this month. It's coming up a ton for a lot of signs, but it makes sense for me. The sun's moving through your sign. This is a time of deep support for you and connection for you with who you truly are and how you're moving on forward in your life and who you are becoming. But what I'm seeing here is you're going to get a lot of answers this month. You're going to get a lot of breakthroughs this month. Places where it has felt maybe a little elusive, or like maybe you've been working on a project all of 2021 and it's been moving slow, and where is it happening? So let's talk about this. So Four of Wands, yes, this is a card of commitment and love and graduation and culmination. The symbolism of the bowerbird is, of course, love and partnership, but the bowerbird is also a creator, right? Like this is a very creative bird who creates beautiful physical things in the world and is a culmination of creative vision. So I do feel like this month with this card, as well as the Eight of Pentacles, this is a month of a culmination of creative vision, a mastery of skill sets, growth in learning new skills and being a human and being a being is so interesting because it really works like, it feels like we're not growing, we're like just flatlining. We show up every day to that math textbook or that painting or that language class or that dance class or that job. And it's like, okay, I'm kind of getting better. Like I learned one little thing, but it feels like nothing's happening. And then what happens is there's a breakthrough, right? And it's like overnight. The next day you wake up and suddenly you have a whole new level of mastery of that skill. That's what July is kind of like here. So if you've had some experiences of things where it's felt kind of like, yes, you're taking the steps, you're showing up every day, you're trying, you're wondering, And it feels kind of like, okay, like little things are happening, but not much is happening. This month to me, especially with these two cards and the intuitive wisdom I'm getting, it's like, boom, that kind of growth. And that can show up obviously in so many different aspects of your life, whether it's waiting for an answer about a job, or it's wanting deeper commitment in your relationship, or diving deeper in your relationship, or if you're doing a lot of creative processes, like that's definitely been a big part of my journey. You might have just one of those big breakthroughs where suddenly you're able to express yourself at a whole new level. Isn't that exciting? Like, that to me is the best news I've had all day, just reading those cards there and thinking about getting to show up in the world with more of you, you know, fully there. Now, we also have some very fiery energy. And you know what's interesting? I actually think Leo season could be quite beneficial for you Cancerian beings out there. It's going to be a time of amplifying your self-love, amplifying your self-respect, amplifying the possibilities ahead. The King of Wands and the Sun are both very creative, free-spirited energies that want to play, they want to explore, they want to see what's coming up. They both represent being the captain of your own ship in so many ways and doing it from a place of vision and joy. I want to read the King of Wands description in here because I feel like, and see if I can find it in the book. I feel like that that card is so, the Tasmanian Devil is so, it's like such a unique message. And here is the message that comes with this card. I know you think butter wouldn't melt in my mouth, but don't be a fool. I command and expect nothing but respect. Ooh. You would do well to hold a certain amount of fear in my presence, because whether I bless you or not depends on how you make me feel. You see, this is all about me. How you think or feel is irrelevant. Keep that in mind and we will get along just fine. And yes, there is a pomposity and a brazenness about the King of Wands, right? Like, this is somebody who really is their own their own master, their own ruler. And of course, the shadow side of that is obvious, right? Like, we can hurt people if we are super self-obsessed and don't care about anybody. I'm not so worried about that when I'm talking to the Cancer family. You know, like, that's just not the primary issue around here in these parts. And that is one of the best things about this energy. Love it. But, you know, healthy King of Wands is this. You guys are allowed to, you all are allowed to give a crap about how you feel, take mastery of your life, and you know, just be like, hey, you know, I want things to feel good. I want to choose things that feel right for me. I'm unapologetic about expressing my preferences in my life, expressing my needs. And you know, I don't feel like Cancer, like moon children, are like passive by any stretch of the imagination. I think you all are quite determined, adventurous people. It's not that at all, but I do think because you care about others so much and because you tend to want to provide support, nurturing, that's one of your joys in life, it's important too to remember that you have to be a little bit self-centered sometimes and choose yourself. So this month is also speaking to choose yourself, you know, create those times for you where you just create, where you just play, where you just daydream. Create those spaces for yourself that are really about you and you. It makes me think about like The Artist's Way, which is a really famous book, and I think many of you have probably encountered it. It's been around for like almost 30 years, I think. She's really big on the artist date that you do like every week. It's a whole book about how to kind of get back in touch with your creative self, and she's adamant that you take those 2 hours out with nobody else around, not caring about what other people need from you, not caring about the rest of the world, and you are with yourself as your own creative being. And to me, these kind of cards are speaking to that. Like, there's a lot going on. There's commitment, there's projects culminating, there's depth of relationship, there's all this stuff going on. You want to make sure you have the time to be this King of Wands, this Sun energy, the Lemur and the King of Wands, and their brazen taking up of space in their story. brazen taking up of space in their lives, in the roles they play in their life, and be like, hey, I'm here and I am going to do what feels right to me, and I am going to express myself. And I love that message. It's so much fun. These are really bold, juicy energies, you guys. This is not about being apologetic for your existence. This is about really just letting that beautiful moonchild glow, right? And to me, when I get this message, it's so interesting because I think we often equate, kind of brazen, powerful energy with like how it's been modeled in society, which is kind of irritating to everybody else because it's like rude and disruptive. But to me, when I think about taking up space, when I think about like owning my life, when I think about feeling that empowerment, what I think about is like this calm, centered, strong, present energy that radiates. It's not something that it's not put on other people, but it's there, and it is magnetic, and it is intoxicating, and it's such a good influence on everyone around you. Helps everybody be calmer. It helps everybody be more creative. So when Cancerians are using that superpower that they have, it helps not only you, because it's taking care of yourself and you owning your power, but it helps all of us. So keep that in mind too. It's far from selfish for you to be in that full embodiment. I just love the messages coming up this month. I'm hoping to have a very special Cancer guest on my Patreon this coming month for Cancer season. So I'm going to make sure to try and make that happen on Patreon. We're also going to be doing lots of activations and just having fun in July in getting in touch with their creative spirit. So I'd love to see you over there. Obviously, I'd love to see you hanging out here. We're going to be talking that Cancer new moon very, very soon. You also can find me on Instagram and on my website, as well as PinkLune's jewelry on her Etsy shop. I love my Cancer family so, so much. Take care of yourselves. Be brazen, be wild, enjoy being creative and finding those commitments and those new pathways forward. And I'll see you very soon.